Hello everyone and welcome back to Deli's channel or Life of Deli, and today I'll be discussing part 2 of my Crohn's disease story. And so let's get started. So where I left off at was I was taking the Remicade, and I was getting Remicade infusions, which took about 3 hours through IV, and I was also on the prednisone. And so I was only taking about 40, I started off on 40. By this time, this is when Harvey hit, and so I dropped down to only 10 milligrams of the prednisone. And so at this time, we went to Texarkana to go visit my stepdad's family, since we had to leave for Harvey because I live in the Houston area. And so once we got into Harvey, I felt a little, once we got into Texarkana, I felt a little bit of discomfort in my stomach. I was eating, but I noticed I was dropping. I wasn't eating as I usually would have during the summertime. So then I started to get a little bit more pains, and I just wasn't really feeling well, and I can tell I was getting a little bit more drowsy. So I'm just thinking, well, maybe it's because I still need to wait until the Remicade works, and then hopefully it can work, and then I can keep going back down to my prednisone. But it really wasn't really working. I knew something was wrong because my nurse, she had to prescribe me even more vitamin D because I didn't have any energy. And so I just kept going back and forth with the Remicade, with the prednisone, hoping that it can work. And by this time, that's when the semester came back up again. That's when I started to go back to school. And I noticed that my stomach was getting a little bit more bloated, and as the semester progressed, it got even bigger. So, and then my pains were getting even more and more worse. Last semester, fall of 2017, was the worst semester I've ever. No, it's the worst part of my life, honestly, because I would come home from class just bald-faced crying. I had no energy. I would walk to the architecture building. Architecture building is right across the street. I would go to the architecture building like out of breath. I'll be tired because I have no energy. I would eat, but I couldn't eat a lot. And then I noticed I wasn't pooping enough, and I felt my digestive system, it was going too slow. I didn't know what the problem was. And I'm thinking of, like I said, I'm thinking that the Remicade is going to help, and I'm trying all these different remedies. They're saying, well, try this water, try this diet, try eating this, and try eating that, and don't eat raw vegetables, and try this remedy, and try this oil, try this water, try praying, just all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm getting confused because every time I look on YouTube, it's like different remedies on, well, I want to see how they did it to get through it. But oh my gosh, I couldn't do it. I tried cutting back red meats. I just try to eat more fruits and vegetables, trying to do more multivitamins. And the thing is, it wasn't nothing was helping. And I eventually, I went to, I remember like a couple of times during the time of homecoming, I couldn't even walk around a lot because, like I said, I had no energy, and I would get really, really cold really fast too because I had no body warmth. And my parents, like when I would go back on the weekends, sometimes they would look at me like, you okay? You're getting really, really skinny. And even my best friend, I remember, she came over, she was like, this is the skinniest I've ever seen you. You need to go do something. But I'm like, it's okay, I'm trying to. But me, being the workaholic that I am and trying to stay in school, I didn't want anything to conflict with it. So I'm okay, I'm fine, I can still do it. And yeah, I'm just bald-faced crying almost every day in pain, just cramping, asking God, why do I have to go through this? I can't take it. Like, it was just too much. And it's new to me. It's not fair. How come I have this disease? And I'm a good person, like, why does this happen to me? But and then I remember I would go to the architecture building after homecoming around October, beginning of November, which is around my birthday. I would go into the architecture building, and that's when it got worse because that's around the time I had my next infusion. And I can feel I don't know if it was the medicine or the inflammation. It hurt it really, really, really bad. Now I have these back pains, and I'm like, what is the problem? I would have these back pains, so I have to sit flat on my face in order for like the pain to. I can feel it like creeping from back and forth from my stomach to my back, or from my intestines to my back. And when I finally went to the doctor on campus, he was like, "You have Crohn's. You're taking Remicade," and he was like, "I think it's uh, the inflammation that's in your intestines that's projecting and going back into your lower back, and that's what's causing the problem." Because literally, I would be in class just crying. It happened like 3 different times, and I couldn't do it. And then until one day, one of my friends was like, "No, no, you go home." I was like, "But I have class." "No, you go home. You can't do this anymore." But I mean, no. So yeah, like I said, I was just really, really focused on school. And I would call my mom, and she would tell me, "Well, do we need to come pick you up and take you to the hospital?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay. It went away." And then I would just take some more of the pain medicine and just hope that the Remicade would work, and just prednisone, because I was still on the prednisone at this point. I was like just on like 5, I think, by this time, because like I said, I didn't get any better with the Remicade. And so, like I said, I can tell that my stomach was getting bloated, and then even when I would go to class, oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. I'm thinking that maybe it's because my stomach. I'm thinking it's normal. I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe my stomach isn't just something I ate. I don't know. But it would make this sound, and everyone would be like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's okay. It's just my stomach." In class, taking the test. You hungry? No, I'm good. I'm good. I got some chips if you want. No, I'm good. I'm sure. You sure you ain't hungry? Yeah, I'm good. But actually it was good, because like at this point I really didn't have an appetite to eat, and I couldn't really hold down anything I really ate, because I would just eat probably like once a day, and then I'll be fine. And then when I did eat, like the next day, I would end up throwing up. So I was like, maybe I caught a virus. It's the beginning of the new season towards fall. I mean, towards winter, and that's the new time when viruses and stuff start to. So I don't know. I'm just making up any excuse, and finally, that's when I went back to my GI doctor, and when he looked at me, he said, "Oh my gosh, what is going on? You look like an African child," which I really did. I looked at like an African child, because my stomach was bloated. And I thought that maybe it's because I was gaining weight. As you get older, I'm thinking, oh, my body's changing. Because usually all my weight goes to my thighs and everything. So I'm like, well, maybe my body's changing. So it's just going to my stomach now. Not the case. He looked at me. He said, "No, you look horrible. The prednisone. We can't keep you getting on prednisone. We can't keep giving it to you, because it's not good to stay on it for long term. And then the Remicade, it seems not to be working, and we've given you the highest dosage that we can, and we've been bringing you in as much as we can, and it's not working for you. We're just gonna have to talk to the surgeon, see what the process is for that, and see if you have to need surgery, because but most likely I think you will, because this is nothing isn't working." And then he looked at my stomach, and he's like, "What is that noise?" I'm like, "Yes, my stomach." And he was like, "That's not normal." I was like, okay. And he said, "Yeah, I think it's something," because he said it's trying to pass through or something. I'm like, well, it's been kind of. He said, "Have you been pooping?" I'm like, "Yeah, maybe every day, every other day, probably, It's like, that's not normal. We're gonna have to look at that. So they did a CT scan, and they did a CAT scan, and they looked at everything before I got to the surgeons. And once I got to the surgeons, oh my gosh. He was like, my doctor, he said, he came in, he was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, you need surgery. They done all they can with Remicade, with the prednisone. We can't keep giving it to you because it's not good long term for your body, and it's not working. You're gonna have to have surgery. We see something that's not right. You're not gonna get any better if you don't. If you don't have, you're just gonna wither away because you can't keep down your food, and your body needs the nutrients. And at this point, there's no way of you really getting it. I said, okay, so what's the process? He told me, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to take out where the inflammation is, which is in your lower intestines where it connects, which is in your small intestines where it connects to your lower intestines. And we're gonna have to take that inflamed part out. And we're gonna have to tie it out and give you an ileostomy. And it's basically a pouch that's going to hang from your body. And you're gonna live with a bag for about 3 to 6 months. Huh? Oh my gosh, I went off. I started crying. I was just after that, I didn't hear any else he said. I said, a bag? What? Oh my gosh, I was like, no, my life is gonna be over. How am I gonna go to school? What? No, 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 no. He was like, calm down, calm down, calm down. I was like, I don't want to calm down. Give me a bed. No, no. He was like, well, calm down, calm down. It's normal. A lot of people have it. You don't even know a lot of people have it. And you're just going to have this for 3 months. But after you have it, once we look back at everything, we're going to hook you back up, right back up together where the part that we took out, you're going to take that out where the inflamed part is. But the part that sticks out and that creates your ileostomy, we're going to use that, and after 3 to 6 months, once we know that all the inflammation is gone, then we're going to hook you back up together, and then all this beat you good, you know? I said, okay. So I did my research. I looked up people with ileostomies, and I'm like, okay, it's not that bad, but still, it's a bag. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. Like, how do you move with that? How do you drive with that? How do you wear clothes with that? You know, what certain activities can I do? Can you work out with it? Like, you know, and another thing is like, this is something whole new. Like, I'm just now, a couple of months ago, I just got diagnosed with the disease. So the disease is still fairly new to me. And now you're telling me I have to go through surgery, and you're telling me I have to have a bag, and you're telling me I have to wear this for 3 to 6 months? Like, what? And you're telling me I have to get another surgery to get put back together. Okay then, alright. I guess, this is just life. So I had to sit down, my mother talked to me, you know. My family talked to me, they really encouraged me. They was like, you're gonna have to do this or else you're just gonna wither away, son. This is not ideal, but it's what's gonna save you and make you better. So they called me back. They let me know that after they did another CT scan after that, once I talked to them that Friday. And then the surgeons, they called me back like the next day, and they're like, no, you need the surgery now. It's not looking good at all. None of your food's gonna pass through. You need it now. So I said, okay. So that Monday of November 20th, I had my surgery for my ileostomy. So they took out about 10 centimeters of my small intestines where it connected to my lower intestines at. And I'll show you some pictures. So yeah, it was horrible. That big blob was the reason why my stomach looked like an African child, because the inflammation was so heavy to the point to where that part of my intestines, it got so big, and then it got so narrow. And then within that small piece is where it kind of connected that, and it was so narrow, and that is what caused the sounds and the gushing noises in my stomach, because food was trying to pass through. And that's the reason why I wasn't able to eat anything, and I couldn't keep anything down really, because it had that small little wee thing going through it. So just imagine something like some carrots, or mind you, I was trying to eat healthy, so all I had was salad. So my that trying to get through there, no, it was horrible. So I was there during the week of Thanksgiving, so I kind of felt left out because I like to eat, and I could not eat for the in the beginning for like the first two. Like I came into the hospital that Sunday, and then I had the surgery that Monday, but that day prior I couldn't eat. And then prior to having the surgery, stuck this tube down my nose into my throat. And I didn't even talk. It was so uncomfortable. I was talking like, "Hi, my name is Betsy, and if you just keep smoking, you're gonna end up like me." It was like this all the time. And I couldn't deal with it. It was painful, but once they took it out, I felt free. And then once I woke up from the surgery, I felt so relieved. I finally felt normal, where I can calm down. And oh my god, so that first day they didn't let me eat because they had to, make sure everything was right once they tie you, because once you're taking out a section, it's very easy for leakage or anything to happen. So they want to make sure you can pee first, and then they want to make sure that the liquid can pass through, and make sure that your ileostomy is working and everything, then you'll be able to eat. So I had it that Monday, and by a couple of days afterwards, I was able to eat. I don't know, but they had like Thanksgiving food by the time I was able to eat, and oh my gosh, that was nasty. The hospital food's not up to par, but that food was good. And it was because I haven't eaten in so long. Yeah, I was so happy, even though it was new though. They taught me how to change the bag. Before I left, they taught me how to change the bag, and then they taught me how to, clean up everything and watch out for spills. And, the diet is you can't have anything spicy, and you can't have any like raw, hard vegetables or anything that's hard to digest. They want you to have something that's chewable and that's malleable, like, potatoes and chicken and rice, bread, something that won't get too tough and stuck in your ileostomy, because it can cause a blockage, and especially for it being new. So that's what I did for a couple of weeks, and then they finally put me, so after that, went home, rested, then came back, and then I was able to go back to school, which the new semester started in January. And then prior to that, prior to me coming back, I had my first Remicade infusion, and then after I had that, that's when it was around February, and that's when they finally did another Remicade infusion. And that time was not the best time. I ended up, they gave me my iron because I'm anemic, and a lot of people are Crohn's are, and so they gave me my iron. Then after that, they gave me my Remicade, and within the first 5 minutes, I start looking at my hands started getting red, my mouth started getting all tingly and itchy. It was like, and then I can feel the heat rising through my feet. I stood up. I felt lightheaded. I told the nurse, come take this out. Come take this. She's like, "Oh my gosh, your face is red." And so she took it out. She was like, "Oh, you're having an allergic reaction." So I guess she was new. So like other nurses came in too. And then finally my nurse came in, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're okay, you okay?" And then all I can remember was just me laying back, and I'm just, I'm fine. And then I just went down, and they were checking my blood pressure at the same time, and they put some steroids in me too. But she was like, and then I woke back up. She was like, "You passed out on me. I thought you were, are you great? Are you okay?" And then finally she was like, "We're gonna have to call the ambulance because this is not working." So they called the ambulance. I went back into the hospital, And yeah, it was a bad allergic reaction to it because she said that my body has started to form antibodies against the medicine because, post surgery, it's been a week since I've had an infusion, and during that time, I formed antibodies against it. So the medicine wasn't working anymore. So, long story short, that's when I was in the hospital for the reaction. So, they gave me fluids, gave me more steroids, and then by the end of the night, I was fine, I was calm, and I was good. But the thing is, they always give you Benadryl and Tylenol before they give me my infusions. So, even if I did have an allergic reaction, it was supposed to help, but it didn't. It was just that bad. So, to move on, I talked to my GI, and they said they're going to start me on a new medicine. So, which is Stelara. And Stelara, at first, you're going to get a 1 hour infusion, and then you're going to get every couple of weeks, every 8 weeks from me now, I'm going to get a shot, which it might hurt, but it's not that bad. It's definitely much easier than having Remicade because you have to wait and then you have to mix it once you get there, and that takes a long process, and it's 3.5 hours compared to you just getting a shot, and it's definitely more easier than you going back in every 2 weeks for Humira. And the reason why they don't want to give me Humira, because I thought it was going to give me Humira, but actually it's in the same category as Remicade, so he was like, no, we need you on a different level, so we're just going to give you Stelara. And I don't like giving myself shots every 2 weeks, so yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna start on Stelara, and that's when I went back into talk to my surgeon, because by this time it's March, so end of February, around March time. So that's when I went back in, had another colonoscopy from my surgeon, and then they looked at everything. He came back with a test. He said, "Oh my gosh, you did well. Everything's good." They found no inflammation. So at this point, technically, I don't have the disease because I don't have inflammation. And he said, "But you have a little bit of colitis that's in your lower intestines." But he said that's quite normal because he gets mad that no poop is going through, which I still have bowel movements. But he said that's normal because once we put you back together, it's going to be easier for you to go, use the restroom. So he was like, so we're going to set up an appointment. So April 23rd, wish me luck. I will go back and do surgery and we get reconnected and be normal again. Well, not fully normal, I still have the disease, but it's going to get better. And so now they started, after this point, I go back to my GI, and a week ago, I started on my first Humira infusion, and I sat there for an hour. Everything went well, everything went fine, and now I'm on Stelara. And yeah, so I have this ileostomy, I have this disease, and I have to do Stelara only every 8 weeks because at this point I have no inflammation. So they're just giving it to me just to fight it off, just in case. And so, like I said, I'm glad that I did have the surgery, and I'm glad that I went through what I had to go through in order to get better, even though I kept making excuses and trying to push it back. I tell everyone at this point, and I hope that everyone gets this message, that you have to put your health first, because I wasn't doing that. But, and you have to look on the brighter side of things, because even though I have this ileostomy now, I mean, it does get annoying. It's like a pet. Sometimes you have to change it when you don't want to change it, and then you have to watch out for when it gets full. And then when you're sleeping at night, it's hard because sometimes it can pull over, then it can open and decide to bust. And sometimes it can just decide to leak, and it can just all everywhere. And while you're trying to get a new bag on, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. But at the end of the day, it saved my life. And I have to live with this, not the end of the world, because I know I'm going to get reconnected. But even if I had to have this for the rest of my life, I would still have to look at the positive, that I'm still alive and I still can do what I want to do. Not everything. There's certain stuff I can't wear, certain stuff I can't really do, but I'm still alive, and it can be much worse than me just sitting here withering away. And for anyone that's fighting any type of disease, I just want to encourage you that it's not the end of the world. And anybody that's fighting with Crohn's, is not the end of the world. It's because it's going to get better. And I just really hope that you get the type of support that I have from my family, because I felt really, really touched. My best friend, my professor, my grandmother, my aunt, and my stepdad, my mom, my brothers, my sisters, they all were there to help me. And I really hope that you have that support system as well. And that's why I'm making this video as well, because I want to encourage people that no matter what you're going through, it's hard right now, but you know, the race is given to the one who can finish it, and God isn't going to give you anything that you can't handle. So if he's giving me this, I must be pretty special, because I can handle this, and that means I'm strong. So if you're dealing with it, that means you're strong and you can get through it too. So again, I hope this helps. And if you have any questions or comments from me about anything in particular, just let me know. And just leave a comment below and tell me your experiences with Crohn's, you know, and how do you battle with it. And if you have an ileostomy or colonostomy, or if you have colitis, because, you know, we're sisters, we're brothers, we're here. And yeah, just let me know if you're even battling with anything, or if you're just watching this video just because you want to know what Crohn's is about, or maybe you just like the color of my eyes. I don't know, I like the color of my eyes, dude. But just let me know in the comments below, and just be sure to like this video if you want to see more videos about it, and also just keep up more updates. And yeah, just comment and be sure to subscribe. So just stay tuned, stay relevant, and stay present. Thank you.